Okay, there is a day in India nowadays, wherever government is touching, that becomes diamond. Okay, in other way, whatever government touches, that become diamond. In a sense that if people are making a mud house, people make mud house also with the soil. You have to take a lot of soil, probably the clay soil. I believe clay soil, and then you have to mix water. Then you have to kind of mesh it, mush it. I don't know what the word used is. Means you have to crumble it completely, mix it nicely. Okay, means people they use their feet to kind of crush it. You have to crush it. Put water in the mud and crush it. Okay, with the foot or whatsoever. The soil that will it will become a glue, high class cement. It will become like that. Then you can attach the brick on top of that soil, crushed soil. Okay, and then you can form a house. If someone is making like that, then price is very less. Price is very less. But if someone is making a house where he is going to purchase something from the market, and where government is coming into the picture in India, like cement, rod, and this kind of thing, then it will be extremely costly, because government in India it does not have any other job than putting heavy taxes on everything. Gold price 1 lakh rupees, 100,000, 1 lakh rupees per 10 gram. 50 year back it was 100 rupees per 10 gram. In 50 year, 100 rupees became 1 lakh. Okay, how much it increased? 1,000 times. How many people 50 year back, now they are getting 1,000 times more than what they were getting? This is what the government sector is. Petrol is now 100, more than 100 rupees liter. I believe same thing with cement, rod, whatsoever. Wherever government is touching, that becomes very high. Anyway, but there are scenarios where the things comes from the nature. If I talk about the iron rod or the steel that is used in the building, that steel comes from company. They manufacture the steel. So generally it cannot come from the earth. The earth come from earth, it comes, or the mountains are there for the iron ore. But iron will be in alloy frame, it will not be pure iron. Only gold comes in pure gold. Gold will not be in alloy, it will be pure gold. But iron and this they come in alloy only. Copper comes in alloy only. Copper stone I have seen, you will don't see it is like a copper. Then it has to pass through many procedures, then only you will get the copper. So but there are few things that come naturally. One of them is crude oil. Crude oil comes naturally from the earth. Anyone can dig and get crude oil. This is nowadays. 100 years back, the crude oil in Ramnan area of the Baku, Azerbaijan, crude oil used to ooze from the earth like a fountain. Crude oil that used to ooze from the earth. Like many people would have seen fountain from the earth, water comes out of the earth. That way, crude oil used to come from the earth in Ramnan area. There is a fire temple also there, and it is written in Sanskrit. It's a pure Hindu temple, fire temple in Baku. Because of the fire that used to come out, to douse the fire, control the fire, they made a temple out there, fire temple in Baku. Ramnan, Ramanan, Ramnan is the area where this oil we used to use. People used to ship that oil through Caspian, through the, I believe, through the Red Sea or something like that. That is the early days. Then there were local refinery, because there it is not very difficult to get kerosene out of it. That oil, you can directly use that. When oil is oozing out, only soil will be there, little bit. Okay, you can just make it sediment, means soil will come down, and then you can sell it. Anyone who is purchasing, he can just put, like in Bihar, the state I have personally seen when I was child. If you go to village, there means people use goita for the fuel. Cow dung, you have to stick it into the wall, and if it dries out, it will become goita. Okay, you have to pour there a crude oil, and then you have to burn it. then goiter will ignite it. Then you can use as a fuel. Okay, that used to be. Now the people started seeing it can catch fire. It has high energy. It is flammable. Okay, in that way, then people start digging it. When they started digging it, all the natural resources of the crude oil that they become dried out. Now, when they're digging it, there are a lot of impurity is coming out of the oil. To remove the impurity, okay, to have the pure form, because crude oil in pure form also, crude oil cannot be used in the combustible engine, not possible. You have to take out petrol from there. Otherwise, they can be burnt directly. That is all right. Okay. If it is coming out of the, if it does not have water, it can have water also mixed with that. Means it has to be cleaned out. Okay, if there is no water, only crude oil is coming out with some dirt, then it can be used directly. But if people are digging from the kilometers, nowadays, people are digging out the crude oil from the kilometers. And then water content and impurity, many things will be there. It is need to be cleaned, refinery. What the people they do is they boil it. Okay, simple, they boil the crude oil. Then water will go out immediately as a vapor, it will go out. And then the kind of sediments will be there. It is called tar that is used to make the road. And then the vapor of this crude oil, it will rise now. If vapor of the crude oil is rising, then heavier part of the vapor, it will come out. There is a chimney. It is called chimney. So there will be a chimney like this. They make a chimney like this. These are a very simple thing. Like we have Reliance refinery and those kind of things. They make it at a larger scale. Now you have to put crude oil here, and when you boil the crude oil, then vapor will come out of the chimney. This is, oh, chimney is like this, I believe. Other way. Okay, then vapor will go like this. Okay, it will come out of the chimney. Now here one pipe will come. Here one pipe will come. Here one pipe. The heavier the kind of vapor will come out from here. Probably it will be kerosene. Little heavier will come, that will be petrol. Very fine will come, more fine the refined oil will be, like that. Then normal people they used to do earlier because of the requirement was very less. Now there are two sectors that is in the world, it is forming now. One is called illegal trade, one is called legal trade. Anyway, we are talking, we should not talk much about illegal trade, but there are many things that is out of the industry, like gold. You can take out from the earth, do the purification, and you can sell it. Similarly, crude oil you can take out from the earth, do some purification, and you can sell it. Okay, if you are able to take out the dirt and water, then as a crude oil you can sell it. Okay, there are now the crude oil price, gold price, these are which comes as a natural from the, it does not require high engineering. If someone is saying I want to take out iron, then it requires some engineering. Okay, if you say that I want to make a mobile phone, then it is purely engineering. Not a normal person can do that. But gold and petrol or crude oil, these normal people they also do. In that fashion, when the price of the crude oil, it is very high, 100 rupees per liter in India it is. That is very high. When it comes out of the earth, where there is no engineering is there. In that fashion, lot of countries now in the world, they are they are searching for the crude oil because free money is there. There are a lot of country in the world, they are trying for the gold mining because free money is there. If you see gold mining, there is no engineering there. Just take out the gold and sell it. If you see the crude oil, there are a lot of country in the world. Like I was seeing it, Guyana. Guyana is a country in Caribbean, that is the Central America. Now they are searching heavily for the crude oil and they are finding it. Now, prior to 50 years back, there were only 4 or 5 countries in the Gulf country which were producing oil. Okay, we are talking about crude oil rush. Crude oil rush means every country in the world now, they are trying to bring crude oil now because price is very high, effort is zero. Effort is zero. It is just matter of your luck that crude oil is there or not. But making mobile phone is not a matter of luck. You have to use high brain there. Human brain is required to make a mobile phone. But there is no human brain required to find a gold mine or a crude oil mine. It is your luck if you get it. If you get it, then so many countries, we are talking about rush in the crude oil. If we take 30 years back, then very few countries had crude oil. Crude oil. Now, if you take, there are more than 100 countries in the world. They are producing crude oil now. There is a rush now to produce crude oil because looking at the prices now. Okay, 3 years back, 3 years back, right now India is the, I believe, third largest country in the world as per the consumption of crude oil per day. Third largest country. First is America, first is China, second is America, and third is India. China and America are the countries which have industry. That's why they need crude oil. But in India, there is no industry, more or less, because there is no export. In India, the maximum crude oil is burnt in automobile or in agriculture sector. That is the maximum area where crude oil is used, and government they encourage people to use crude oil. As a household LPG cylinder, also crude oil is only used. Means these are the normal people they consume crude oil in India, whereas these are the industrial countries. Anyway, now we will see that how crude oil production is changing around the globe. I have some data. Okay, so we are seeing how crude oil production is changing around the world. If someone talk about the crude oil, immediately what comes in people's mind? OPEC country, oil producing country. What is OPEC country and what is okay? OPEC country means Organization of Petroleum, OPEC, Organization of Petroleum, okay, something countries, OPEC countries, okay, info, something like that. I could not write it very well. Petroleum energy country, Organization of Petroleum Energy country, OPEC, I believe so. Okay, so people start thinking about the Middle East country. Petrol means Middle East country, like United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and then Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq. These are the highest petrol or petroleum crude or liquefied natural gas. If natural gas is coming from the down, then they liquefy it at high temperature or something like that, and they ship it like a liquid. And people who are using it, then they transform into the gas form. Okay, but is it the real scenario? Actually, we made a chart. Okay, so in 1997, there are the country which were known for the. If I see what is the today scenario, if I talk about the today scenario, country who are producing petrol now, crude oil, the country who are producing crude oil, no one would believe if I read the data. Present scenario 2025, which all countries are producing crude oil now. Number one, the country which is producing crude oil is United States. Number one country that is producing crude oil is United States. 13 million barrel per day America is producing crude oil now. 13, 1 3. Number one country in the world. 13. Next is Saudi Arabia around 10.8. Next is Russia 10.7. Russia and Saudi Arabia are same now. Canada 5.5. China 4.7 barrel per day, million barrel per day China is producing. Can someone believe? In top five country, if I see, then there is only Saudi Arabia is there. Okay. Then Iraq 4.1, Iran 4, UAE 3.7 million barrel, Brazil 3.6, Kuwait 2.7. Okay, these are the top 10 countries. 28th country is Guyana. Guyana is producing right now around 640 barrel, 640,000 point six per million barrel per day. Guyana. There is a rush now to produce oil because it is a free money. On top five, there is only one country from the Middle East now. This is a present scenario. I was taking the data since 1997. In 1997, if I talk about the current country, then in 1997, Saudi Arabia used to produce 308 million ton. In one barrel, around 136 kilogram of the oil comes. I believe so. 136 or 126. 159 liter of oil is in one barrel. So in 2000, in 1997, Saudi Arabia used to produce 308 million ton of the oil per year. Russia was 127, way down. 308 and Russia was 127. Okay, Canada was 67, Iraq 35, USA 7, which is right now number 1. 7 million ton per year. Per year. UAE, United Arab Emirates 99, it was number 3. First was Saudi Arabia, second was Russia, then third was UAE, then it was Kuwait 57. Okay, Iraq was 35. This was a scenario of 1997. If I talk about 2000, then Saudi Arabia 312, Russia 144, Canada 76. See how Russia and Canada are growing. Iraq 101. Iraq also grew to 101. USA 7 to 6. UAE 94. Kuwait 62. If I take data of 2007, then Saudi Arabia 345 million ton per year. Russia 259. 1997 Russia was 127, and in 2007 Russia became 259. It doubled it, more than doubled it, whereas Saudi Arabia from 308 to 345. That means Saudi Arabia remained the same, Russia doubled it. Then Canada 67 to 90, 67 to 97, Iraq 35 to 81, USA 7 to 9, UAE 99 to 100. So all Middle East country more or less same only, except Iraq. And Kuwait 57 to 68. All are same. Russia is growing like anything. Anyway, Canada also 67 to 98. Then I have data of the 2015. In 2015, Saudi Arabia is 369. Say 308 to 369. Then Russia 127 to 246. Canada 67 to 159. Iraq 35 to 149. Only Iraq in the Middle East it is growing. USA 7 to 44. 7 million ton of crude oil in 1997 to 44. See the America. UAE 99 to 125. Same. And Kuwait 57 to 100. Doubled it. Anyway, we have data for 2019. In 2019, Saudi Arabia is 352, same one. Russia 127 to 269. Canada 67 to 200. Iraq 35 to 195. USA 7 to 166. Okay, UAE 99 to 155 and Kuwait 57 to 102. Means the countries like USA, Russia and Canada, which were not very much. Russia had a crude oil earlier. Okay, little bit. Okay, but the America and Canada, not only American, they are in top till 2019. That's why I put the name. There are many countries now. They are doing day and night to search for the crude oil. Crude oil is considered as a new wealth, new rust in the world where everyone is trying for the crude oil. You get crude oil, you become rich immediately. No need to put high brain making mobile or laptop or whatsoever. Nothing is required. There is another rust that people are unaware of it and it is going on. Who is not in the rush? India is not in the rush. India produces 700,000 million barrel per day, 700,000 0.7 million oil per day. India is producing, but it is using 5.2 million, means around 15% it produces and 85% it imports. Whereas there are many countries. So I talked about top 10 countries in the world who are producing petrol now, crude oil. First is USA, second is Saudi Arabia, third is Russia. Saudi Arabia and Russia are same now. Canada, China, Iraq, Iran, UAE, Brazil, Kuwait. These are the 10 countries. So the highest producing top 5 country in Middle East, now they have went to another side of the 5 in top 10. Guyana kind of country, that is like an island, small country, that is producing as per India. Means they are day and night they are searching. I have not put Venezuela and this kind of country. There are 50 countries in the world, they are producing more than 100,000 million barrel per day. Okay, means the country are becoming rich and richer for the crude oil. Anyway, who are the largest importer of the crude oil? They need it, largest importer. Or what is the usage, if I rather say, what is the usage of how much they use per day? The number one is China. 16.3 million barrel per day China needs today. Okay, United States needs 6.4 million barrel per day. India needs, this data is for, I believe this data is little old. India needs 2 3 years old. India needs 4.6. Now it is 5.2. South Korea 2.7. Japan 2.5 million barrel per day. Kazakhstan 1.56, and then Germany 1.5, Italy 1.2. Germany is number 3 largest economy in the world because of its industry, and it needs 1.5 million barrel per day. India is number 4th, but gap is very high between Germany and India in GDP. And India needs 5.2. Means India, the petroleum product, it is not going to industry. Rather, it is going in the local common man. So that is the bad thing. Anyway, I have a data of oil import. How many or how much the countries are consuming every year. In 1960, USA was consuming 1 million barrel per day. 1 million barrel per day in 1960. America. China 0, India 0, means very less. Japan 0.75, near to America. South Korea 0. In 1970, I'm talking about how rise in the consumption of the crude oil. 1970, America was using 1.2 million barrel crude oil per day. China 0, India 0.3. Japan 3.2, more than America. See the industrial growth. South Korea 0.3. In 1980, America was consuming 5 million, whatever India is consuming, along all its household and LPG cylinder to tractor to everything. America was needing in 1980 for its industry 5 million barrel per day. Okay, at that time, America was not producing any oil at all, negligible, means fully importing from the Saudi Arabia. $5 million per day. China 0. No, China was a poor country. No industrial growth. 1980 China 0. India 0.3. Japan 4.5, equivalent to America. South Korea 0.5 million barrel per day. In 1990, America needed 6 million barrel per day. China 0. India zero point 0.4, Japan 4, South Korea 1. South Korea is growing. In 2000 era, in 2000, America needed 9 billion barrel per day. China 1.2 in 2000 era. From 2000, China started changing. 1.2. India 1.2 means at 2000, India and China were similar. Japan 4 and South Korea 2.2. In 2010, America, the consumption of the crude oil in America was 10 million barrel per day. 10 million barrel per day. China 5. In 10 years, 1.2 to 5. India 3.2. Japan 3.2 and South Korea 2.2. In 2015, USA needed 7, so it decreased little bit. USA needed 7 million barrel per day. Miss China is taking over the market of America from 2010 to 2015. America went 10 billion per day, 10 million barrel per day to 7 million barrel per day in 2015. China 5 to 6. Okay, more or less they are same. India 3.2 to 4, Japan 3.2 to 3, and South Korea 2.2 to 2.7. 2025, China 16.3, America 6.4, India 5.2, similar. And then South Korea 2.7, Japan 2.5, Kazakhstan 1.56, Germany 1.5, Italy 1.2. Where is China? Where is America? Okay, what is the moral of the story? There are moral of the story is that India should work toward it. 85% India is importing crude oil, means around 130 billion dollar. 130 $130 billion India is spending importing the crude oil unnecessary. First of all, India, as per the industry of India, India does not need this much crude oil. If people start cooking the way they were cooking 30 years back with the Goethe, then they do not need crude oil, LPG cylinder at all. Then if they use the ox for the agriculture, they don't need the tractor crude oil at all. Okay, I won't say you go by the bullock cart, but still you can avoid lot of fuel in the automobile sector also. Why you are going for picnic and summer vacation and winter vacation and this vacation, that vacation, not that much is required. That's why people are catching these many diseases. Anyway, not that much is required. So India can reduce its consumption. I believe in the today's scenario, India can reduce at least 70% of its consumption. It will come to 30% only. Means half of its consumption it is producing anyway right now. Only half of it, that will more or less India will land up in importing, I believe, I think so, around half of means around uh, 30 30 billion 30 $30 billion per year, from 130 to 30. That will be immense reduction. Then next is India will try to find out sources of the crude oil. Their main source is Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a desert area. There they can do more in it, and certainly they will find the crude oil sources out there. I'm 100% sure about it. India can be independent at this. And it does not require high brain. Once you get the crude oil, just you have to purify. India have tons of refinery. India does not have any electronics company, but India has tons of refinery. This way, India will save a lot of money. If in numerous countries are doing the exploration of crude oil, looking of its of wealth hidden behind it, why India cannot do? And that money India can use in science, technology, research the way China did. I believe it will change the fate of India. This is what I think.